Good morning and welcome to my portable vegetable garden. What you're looking at is my mini compost bin. I decided to use this a couple of years ago because I don't really have room for a large bin, so I'm very selective about what I put in here. What you're looking at are banana peels, and I believe that's celery that's decomposed. I've looked at probably 50 videos and done a lot of research on compost bins. This is not your typical compost bin. This is not going to give you the ratio and all the things that people talk about online. This is just something basic, something you can put together in a short period of time, but it will still give you a good result because it's all organic material. Everything that goes in here is pretty much what came from out of the ground, which is going back in the ground. What you have here are cantaloupe skins and also the husk from corn. What I'm not going to put in there are the eggshells. You probably could. There was a time I did. This is actually my third compost bin, my third mini compost bin. The first two, unfortunately, I had to leave when I moved because I didn't have enough room to take them. So this is bin number 3. I know this works. I've done it for years. And what you're looking at here, obviously, is watermelon. Well, the rind from the watermelon, which is also going to be added. The two things you need to remember most about a compost bin is you have to have drainage and it has to stay moist. So I'm going to add a few things and we'll go from there. There's also some potato peels I threw in there. I'm going to take a few minutes to mix this up. Just want to give you an idea of what's in here. This is unusual because I use 50% grass clippings. Why? Because that's what's available to me at this time of the year. I use about 10% coffee grounds and about 40% other organic material. Now, as we approach the fall and I'm able to get leaves, pretty much all of my research, everybody that I've read or watched videos on agree that leaves are an excellent item to add into your composting. What I'll do is when it gets into the fall, I'll just switch over to all leaves, and those will break down rather quickly. Pretty much everything that's in here is going to break down quickly. This is why I don't put corn cobs, because it takes a long time for them to break down. I don't put eggshells because it takes a long time for them to break down, but the leaves will add extra nutrients, and I'll let those sit pretty much for the entire winter, and when the spring comes, I'll have beautiful compost. One of the ways you know that your compost is working, or what they call cooking, is heat. I'm getting a lot of heat. When I go down deep here and pull this up, sometimes you'll even get steam. But right now, there's a lot of heat. Further down I go, the more heat I'm getting. This hasn't been stirred in a while. It should be stirred pretty much every 2 to 3 days. And been kind of busy, so haven't gotten around to taking care of this properly, but there is a lot of heat coming off from down the bottom here, and that's a good sign. Take a few minutes to mix this and add this. You want what you add to your bin to try to be in the center. That's where it's going to break down easier, and as I said, you'll get more of that heat. Once you've turned your bin, the next thing you want to do is add some more grass clippings, or oops, don't want that in there, or leaves, or whatever it is you want to use to help to break this down. Now, the one thing I haven't added yet is coffee grounds. I'm going to add the coffee grounds. I'm going to cover it to keep the critters out, and I'll add some water to it, and we'll be good to go. We drink a lot of coffee in my house, so coffee grounds are not a problem. If you don't, you can always go to Starbucks. They're happy to get rid of their coffee grounds and put them in your compost. They're acidic, and it will help to break down the items that you put in there. So we're going to try to water this as evenly as possible. It's very important that you keep this damp. If it dries out, it's going to take a very long time for you to get the desired effect. So make sure that this is thoroughly wet. You don't want to actually have to soak it. For the most part, I don't have to add a lot of water to this, because where I have it situated, it does get a fair amount of rainwater, and we have had a lot of rain this week. So here's my little cover. Put this on like that. This holds it in place. And one other thing I wanted to show you is my Compost Tea. You've probably heard about it. This is good to put on your plants. There's a lot of nutrients in there from the compost, so you don't have to wait until the compost is ready to use. You can use the tea on a regular basis, and it should help your plants. So that's my little short video on my mini composter, and trying to keep this under 5 minutes. So at one point I'm going to do a video on how to build this. As I said, it's very simple. If you have a bin laying around the house, a couple old screens, then it's not going to cost you any money. This compost is going to come in handy next year, because instead of going to the store and purchasing compost, you'll have your own, and that fits into my theme of gardening for little to no money whenever you can. So thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.